Swami, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. ISKCON Deputy Founder Acharya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jaya Vishnupada Paramahamsa Paripajika Acharya Shtattar Shata Srishimat His Divine Grace and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vranda ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Prem Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki Jai. Braja Vrindavan Dham ki Jai. Navadip Mai Dham ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham ki Jai. Ganga Mai ki Jai. Jamuna Mai ki Jai. Bhakti Dev ki Jai. Tulsi Maharani ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Sai Gaur Pramanande. All glories to Shambhala Devotees. All glories to Shambhala Devotees. All glories to Shambhala Devotees. Glories to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gautama. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurumilitanena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manomishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantigam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jatapadakamagam Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagrana Raghunatham Kantam Sajivam Satvaitam Savadutam Parijan Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sadhana Lalita Sri Vishakamanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinu Jagate Gopeshwara Gopika Kananta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Brahmani Shri Vanchatam Patarupyascha Kripa Sindhavya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namaha Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Chacharine Nirvishesha Sanyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Audio. Yeah. You put to the computer. Take out the microphone.
Today we are embarking on the middle explanations of the two more factors, which are, what were the first two? Anukulyana Krishnanshevan, Pratikulasya Varjanam. Now it is Goptrutya Varanadharana and Rakshati Vishvasa or Palan. These two factors we'll be studying. These are essential that we should have complete faith on Lord Shri Krishna. Generally, our faith gets disturbed if we do not get protected or if we do not get nourishment. We say our physical protection is not there, then what good? But to cultivate such an unshakable faith that Lord Krishna is responsible to give us birth. And He is also death personified. In between we are having some, what you call, little independence to act according to our wills. That's a misunderstanding. Between birth and death, still that is sense of fear at every moment. Corona is fearful, And anything that disturbs or puts us into an uncomfortable state, whether it is heat, cold, we try to make an adjustment, but the yogis were never making any such controversies to counteract the opposing circumstances. They were not busy in making air conditions. They were not busy in even creating defense system. They knew the knowledge of it. But when a jiva feels insecurity, it means he is not knowing that what is the cause of him being around in this so-called uncomfortable material nature. So let's see, out of that, Rakshati iti Vishvaso, the conviction that Krishna will give me protection. This is the third factor essential for Sharanagati, how to develop fearlessness. Prahlad was 5-year-old. Ordinarily, his father gave so much fearful situations, but we never hear that he was ever fearful. He was not at all in shock. How come this kind of fearlessness come in a 5-year-old boy? He must have a complete faith in the protection of the Lord. One should be more convinced that only Krishna can protect him and should have full faith that the Lord will give all protection. And impersonalists think that his actual identity is in being one with Krishna, but a devotee does not destroy his identity in this way. He lives with the full faith that Krishna will kindly protect him in all respects. One is completely avoiding, oh, this is not the question pertaining to us because we are one with Krishna. We will become Krishna ourselves. Where's the question of fear? If we have this daring, claim, why do we have to fear? That is one way of thinking, but it is erroneous. One who is not free from bodily conception of life is always fearful. And those who are fearful, death is certain. तुम्हें तो मारी रे जा रे के तारे राखीते पारे तुम्हें तो मारी रे जा रे के तारे राखीते पारे इच्छा बस त्रिभुवन इच्छा बस त्रिभुवन ब्रह्मादि देवगण तब someone, then who could possibly protect them? The three words are subservient to your will. Three words are subservient to your will. Demigods headed by Lord Brahma are your countless servants who stand ready to execute your command. So they must be very fearless. तब इच्छा मते जाता ग्रह गण constantly exercise their auspicious or inauspicious influences. Illness, grief, death, and fear occur by your will. Your command is all powerful. Tava boy vayu boy Chandra Surya Samudoy. Tava boy vayu boy Chandra Surya Samudoy. Swaswami Nita Karya Dore. Swaswami Karya Dore. Tumi to Parameshwara Parabrahma Parapara. Tumi to Parameshwara Parabrahma Tava Vasa Bhaktirantare. Tava Vasa Bhaktirantare. The fear of you, the wind blows. The sun and moon rise and set, all performing their regulated task. You are the Supreme Lord, the ultimate spirit, transcendently situated beyond even the beyond. Your residence is in the heart of your loving devotee. Sada Suddha Siddha Kama Bhaktata Vatsala Nama. Sada Suddha Siddha Kama Bhaktata Vatsala Nama. Bhakta Janera Nitya Swami. Bhakta Janera Nitya Swami. Tumi to rakhi de jare, ke thare marite pare. Tumi to rakhi de jare, ke thare marite pare. Sakala vedina veditumi. Sakala vedina veditumi. You are eternally pure. Your own desires are already fulfilled. Your name is Bhaktavatsal, for you are the eternally affectionate Lord of your dear devotees. If you wish to protect someone, then who could possibly slay them? You are the law of all laws. Tomara charana natha koriyate pranipata. Tomara charana natha koriyate pranipata. Bhakti vinoda yavadasa. Bhakti vinoda yavadasa. Vipada hoite Swami avashyata rate tumi. Vipada hoite Swami avashyata rate tumi. Rakshite tahare vishwa. Rakshite tahare vishwa. Your servant Bhakti Vinod has bowed down submissively at your lotus feet. O Lord, he cherishes the faith, O Master, that you will surely protect him from all dangers. A devotee must be firmly convinced that Krishna will give him protection. No one else can actually give one protection, and being firmly convinced of this is called the faith. The definition of faith is Shraddha Shakti Sudrida Vishwasa Karnishya Krishna Bhakti Karya Sarva Karma Krita. This is Sudra, very unshakable. Vishwas means faith. But Vishishta Rupena Swas. We can understand that the Swas is so much important for our life. If it stops, then we are gone. So, just like we have faith on our Swas that we are living, similarly, Vishwas, Vishishta Rupa Swas. It is the special element of measurement of faith. That's called Vishwas. The faith doesn't change. And nowadays, the material faith, today you are Muslim, tomorrow you will become Hindu. Many are turning back to, they call Garvapsi in India. So the point is that is, according to the bodily needs, you change your faith. You can become Christian very easily. Roti kapra makan, that is their agenda. We give you just give up your Hinduism and accept Christianity. That faith changes. But Shraddha doesn't change. Shraddha can be conformed. Christianity, there is no verification of the faith there. Even in Islam, there is no verification. But Shraddha can be verified into Nishtha, unshakable faith. It liberates you. If you have that kind of faith, you are already liberated. Not on anybody, but only on the transcendental nature of the Supreme Personality of God. So, this kind of faith is different from the faith of an impersonalist who wants to merge into Brahman effulgence in order to be verified by cessation of repeated birth and death. Some people want to merge into Brahman, so they think Brahman is eternal and they will lose their identity. So there is no question of rebirth or death. But they don't understand. That's a mistaken step. Our identity is eternal in nature. How can you dissolve it? Committing spiritual suicide or material suicide, you will never lose your identity. So instead of playing those kind of games of simply out of hate to Krishna, this kind of games are being played. But the students in 12th grade, they do not get enough marks, they commit suicide. It is everywhere. What is the value of that life? Suicide is sinful activity. If you have no ability to create the spiritual soul, you have no right to take the life of it. It's called Atma. Atma, who is the killer of the soul. There are two types of Atma. One who takes others' lives for the food is also Atma. And one who takes his own life by ignorance is also Atma. And it is never approved because if one is not able to understand the truth of life, they think body is the only one. If there is no body, there is no life. But who says that? There is a subtle body also in us. When the body of Panchamahabhut leaves us, but the Sukshma Bhut, Man Buddhi, Ahankar, they carry us. Where you have desired at the time of quitting the body. That's an irrefutable, claim by Krishna. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajantyante kalyevaram tam tam tamai vaiti kaunte sadatat bhava bhavita. Sat tada sat bhava. It's a cardinal fact, it cannot be reversed. But antakale cha mameva smaran uttva kalevaram saprayati madbhavam jatina prasamshe. So do not doubt that a devotee who has cultivated a firm faith in me and is clinging over till his natural death, remembering me before quitting the body, is sure to achieve my nature, the spiritual nature. So that is eternity. So, impersonalists are escapists. A devotee wants to remain always in Lord's service. In this way, Krishna is merciful to his devotees and gives him all protection from the dangers found on the path of devotional service. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Natya Leela, 22nd chapter, 62nd verse, Shraddha Shabde Vishvasa Kale Sudrada Nishchay Krishna Bhakti Kale Sarva Karma Krita. The word Shraddha, Vishishta, as I explained, is a Vishishta Rupena Swasa. The Swasa is not ordinary. Your entire life is geared on the Shraddha. If you have Shraddha only on the body, but body is going through 6 changes, it is born, it grows, it becomes adult, produces its byproduct, dwindles and disappears. Do you have faith on that body? How long can you trust your body? Faith does not depend upon the body. Faith is intrinsic faith of Lord Shri Krishna, because the soul is connected. One who is the life giver, the soul is connected with him. So the faith is connected with the super soul within the heart. Because he is the witness of all our doings, he is the sanctioner also to fulfill our desires. But if it is not conducive for us to do devotional service, he will not fulfill it. So everybody is dancing in the desires according to the law. But the devotees are voluntarily giving to dance according to the desire of the Lord. Otherwise, the Lord sends his Maya with Triguna to make us dance like puppets. And we think we are the doer. Look what I did. I'm an MSc, PhD, like this and that. So you dance according to that, but these 3 modes of material nature are tied up with you. And Durga Devi makes us dance. You can't see, but you can understand. So Shraddha is confident, firm faith that by rendering transcendental loving service to Krishna, one automatically performs all subsidiary activities. Such faith is favorable to the discharge of devotional service. When one awakens to Krishna consciousness, he does not have to work separately for the pious activities. All activities of bhakti are not only purifying the performer, but also all its surrounding. The best achievement of all fruitive activity is detachment from the material life, and this detachment is spontaneously enjoyed by the devotee firmly engaged in Lord's services. If we achieve the stage of detachment, So, if we cultivate faith on the absolute truth of Lord Shri Krishna, right? Adosha, in the beginning, there's a faith, but which is generated by sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha is the mother of generating the faith. Tatha bhajana kriya. In the association of the sadhus, we engage in chanting Hare Krishna, hearing, chanting and remembering, Shravana, Kirtana, Vishnu Smaran. Alright? Then we foster that faith by anartha nivrutti, eradication, the weeds of our entire lifestyle that have been grown around the creeper of bhakti should be plucked out. Otherwise, they will take the sap away. So the weeds of anarthas have to be removed. Then you verify your faith. This is called nishtha, unshakable. Unshakable faith arises only in nishtha. Very rare unshakable faith can happen. Very rare. So, it's better we clear the stage of anartha nivrutti and come to the point of nishtha, then we will really make progress. Tata ruchi asakti bhavan prem, navadapati. Sharanam kirtanam vishnu smaranam padasevanam archanam vandanam dasyam sakyam atmanivedanam. So, there are 9 steps of progress and 9 processes. Take up any process, you'll be perfect. Just clear one stage after another and go to, don't jump. You'll have fracture. As soon as Krishna seated himself on the chariot to start for Dwarka, he saw Uttara hurrying towards him in fear. All the members of the family of Pandavas were completely dependent on the protection of the Lord. And therefore the Lord protected all of them in all circumstances. The Lord protects everyone, but one who depends completely upon Him is especially looked after by the Lord. The father is more affectionate to the little son who is exclusively dependent on the father. So Uttara, wife of Abhimanyu, who was killed while she was pregnant with Parikshit. Ashwatthama shot Brahmastra to kill Parikshit within the womb, and Uttara was suffering a lot. But she ran to Krishna. Pahi pahi mahayogin deva deva jagatpate nayam tavad abhayam pashe yatra mrityu parasparam. Uttara said, O Lord of Lords, Lord of the universe, you are the greatest of mystics. Please protect me, for there is no one else who can save me from the clutches of death in this world of duality. World of duality. We live in the world of duality. However alluring, glamorous Las Vegas is, but it is made up of duality. Winner, loser. Right? It's a dual thing. Pious, impious. Why Las Vegas only? The whole material world is made up of duality. There is birth, there is death, there is tall, there is low. Vipada santu tat sasvat tatra tatra jagat guru bhavato darshanam yakshyat apurva bhavadarshanam. Kunti is telling, I wish that all those calamities would happen again and again so that we could see you again and again. For seeing you means that we will no longer see repeated births and deaths. If you are facing Lord Shri Krishna, have eye-to-eye relationship. Kunti was aunt of Lord Shri Krishna, but she knew who Krishna is. She is the mother of the Pandavas. Pandavas knew who Krishna is. So, after the Kurukshetra war was ended, Pandavas became victorious, all the Kauravas died, and Krishna thought, let me go back to Dwarka. So he started bidding farewell. When Kunti came in his way, this is not fair, Krishna. Because all the calamities are gone by your mercy, we became the king, there is nobody opponent to us. But there is nobody along with us to enjoy. Better, you recreate the same problems for us. And we will face the problem with very solid faith in you that because you are there, we have been saved. So we will be sure that you will save us from all the time. But to let you go is not fair. These are correct sentiments. Therefore, even though there are so-called calamities, they are welcome because they give us opportunity to remember Lord, which means liberation. So if we are put into a dangerous position and that danger gives us an impetus to remember Krishna, that is welcome. Oh, I am getting this opportunity to remember Krishna. The devotees, even the children are trained up to remember Krishna. If any danger occurs, Krishna, save me. This is the training given right from the beginning. They love Prahlad Maharaj because he was also a 5-year-old boy and he is so fearless that our children go to Lord Nrsimhadev's Murti, which is very ferocious, tearing up apart the chest of Hiranyakashipu. But Prahlad is standing just to welcome the Lord with garland in both his hands. Children naturally develop that nature of Prahlad. If you ask, are you afraid of Lord Nrsimhadev? He says, no. They will tell you no. But if you take an unknown person, go near the gate. Yes. Even an adult will terrify. Ignorance. But come from faith is there, that Lord will protect me. Like this. Why is this welcome? It is welcome because Krishna, remembering Krishna means advancing in spiritual life so that we will not have to suffer any more of these dangers. Tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti suvarjan in Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, 9th verse. Although I may be in a comfortable position, if I keep myself in the mentality of a dog, I shall get my next life as a dog. Therefore, what is the value of this comfortable position? Even if there is danger or suffering in Krishna consciousness, we should tolerate it. We should even welcome such dangers and we should pray in appreciation to Krishna. Thank you for sending this little danger just to test my faith in you. Good. How should we pray? Tatyam kampam su samikshramana banjanam evatma katamupakam Vedavyasapriya purve vidadam namaste jivetas mukti pade sadaiva. My dear Lord, you have given me little token of so-called discomfort. I will tolerate for your pleasure. It means this person has become qualified to get liberation. This is Krishna's anukampa. He's not, many a times we become so much disturbed. Why it happens to a devotee? He is so much, engaged in devotional service. Look, Krishna is not taking care of him. But that is not the view of the devotee. Have you ever asked the devotee? But you see from outside that Krishna is partial. He doesn't give protection to his devotees. But no. A person who said, my dear Lord, vipak means whatever I have done in the past may be giving me some kind of bad result. But you are giving me little dukkha. I will tolerate it, my dear Lord, for your sake. But I don't want to get disturbed in my faith in you. Naturally, this situation can liberate very easily. He is qualified. This qualification is there for liberation. That is the viewpoint of a devotee. He doesn't regard danger as danger, rather he thinks it is Krishna's mercy. What kind of mercy? Bhunjanam eva atmakritam vipakam. Because of my past activities, I was meant to suffer very much, but you are mitigating that suffering and giving me only a little. I must have done more, but you are just giving me a little sample of inconvenience. Therefore, we should not think because I have become a devotee, there will be no danger or suffering. There will be. You have stopped performing the karmic activity, so in future there should not be a reaction. But what about the unpaid past dues? They may be still hanging around. So, suppose if it comes in the way of a devotee, even a devotee stops doing devotional service, that kind of stumbling blocks are there. But Narad Muni said he doesn't have to worry, because what he has performed as devotion remains his permanent asset. Accumulate that asset and become rich in devotion. This is the real asset that will go along with you. Therefore, we should not think because I have become a devotee, I will know there will be no danger or suffering. Prahlad Maharaj suffered greatly, and so did other devotees like the Pandavas and Haridas Thakur. But we should not be disturbed by such sufferings. We must have a firm faith, a firm conviction, knowing Krishna is present and he will give me protection. Don't try to take the benefit of any shelter other than Krishna. Always take to Krishna. Apiyadyanastvam swakshikrteta prabho jahasasi svit surado nujivina anujivina yesham nachanyat bhavatah padambujat parayanam rajasu yojitam mamsam. O my Lord, you have executed all duties yourself. You are living this today. Though we are completely dependent upon your mercy and have no one else to protect us, now when all kings are at enemy with us, this is Kunti clarifying. The highest achievement of perfect civilization is to work with the valor, but at the same time depend completely on the Lord. The Pandavas were ideal executors of this standard of civilization. Undoubtedly, they were completely dependent on goodwill of the Lord Shri Krishna, but they were not idle parasites of the Lord. They were all highly qualified both by personal character and by physical activities. The perfection of life is therefore to become dependent on the will of the Lord instead of becoming falsely independent in the material world. Without Krishna consciousness, one thinks, I shall protect myself, or my society, community, or state will give me protection. I have so many protectors. Why should I care for God? Why shall I go to Krishna? And those rascals who have no protection can go to Krishna. So those who are puffed up materialistic, they think, I don't need to go to Krishna because you have not achieved anything. And you know, Krishna said 4 times of people come to me and 4 times do not. Chaturvida bhajante maam janaha sukriti arjuna. Artha artharthi jnani chabhasara. Artha means dukhi. They come to me. Artharthi, one who wants material opulence, they come to me. Jnani also comes. And those who are inquisitive, they also come. Out of that, one who is in knowledge about the absolute truth, Lord Shri Krishna, he will be totally dedicated to him. Therefore, Krishna prefers such jnanis, those who have realized the truth and take a full shelter. Krishna trusts them more. Otherwise, others are just coming for some petty benefits. But the fact is that unless Krishna gives one protection, one cannot be protected. This is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 9th chapter, 19th verse. Prahlad Maharaj is praying to Lord Nrsimha. Balasya neha sharanam pitarau Nrsimha. When Prahlad Maharaj offered prayers to Krishna as Nrsimhadev, he said, my dear Lord, one should not think that because a child has a father and mother, he has full protection. A child can pass away even in the presence of father and mother. And similarly, a patient can die in front of the doctor. That is also possible. Today our doctors are in danger. They need to get protection from other doctors. But we have to take shelter on Lord Nrsimha. So, if Krishna did not protect a child, the child could not be protected. Even if he were to have thousands of fathers and mothers. Prahlad also says, Natasya chaganam udanvati majjito nu. It is not that a good physician or good medicine can protect one from disease. Suppose a rich man is suffering from some disease and he hires a first-class physician and takes the first-class medicine. Does it mean that his life is guaranteed? I asked one injection from you. You sent 5. There is no necessity. It is just to compare the effect of mine, which was kept overnight in a deep freeze. I was thinking that is not working. Okay? But it must have slowed down a little bit. But this injection has a recommendation that if not in use, then you store it. But once you take it out, keep it at room temperature. It will be activated. So it's good that outside it cannot survive. And so, but the room is cool enough. But what's the guarantee? It's simply trial and error whether it affects or not. But I have to tolerate my diabetes anyway. Similarly, Prahlad continues, one may have a good boat, but this does not guarantee that he will not drown in the ocean. If you do not protect him, he may drown at any time. My dear Lord, this is the Titanic. Even God cannot sink this boat. They declared before releasing it. In the same voyage, Titanic sank. So it is like that. The nature offers so many difficulties, and although scientists may try to invent something to check these difficulties in the struggle for existence, unless Krishna gives some protection, one's inventions will be of no use. Kaunte pratijani name bhakta pranashati. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. Now, this is the kind of blanket protection Krishna can give. Who can else boast? Even group of scientists cannot do that. Recently, the cryogenics, did some work, and small insects, they were put in the liquid nitrogen and kept. They were live, but they suspended their life. But then, after several years, 20, 25 years, they took out the samples and gradually put in the normal temperature. They got revived. Then immediately, let's apply to a human being. Let's apply to human beings. We have studied this part that if you put a solid piece of meat or even an animal, it bursts in liquid nitrogen. It will crack. But somehow, becoming volunteer, maybe some dollar value will be given to them for the scientists. The scientists never succeeded in finding any damn thing. We were talking highly of their failure in finding out gold particle. They failed so miserably. So this is another stunt coming up. Who can give this kind of blanket protection? If one thinks after I leave my connections, who will protect me? Oh, this is conditional. Especially those who are relatives and kinsmen. Okay, I will give them up, but who will protect them? As if he is the protector. He should not accept renounce sort of life. He is not qualified to become a sannyasi if he has to think like that. One must be fully convinced that Krishna or the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his localized aspect as Paramatma is always within. I shall never be alone. One should think I shall be accompanied by Krishna and he will give me all protection. This conviction is called abhayam, fearlessness. Abhayam sattva samsuddhi. These are the qualities. Fourthly, devotees should always accept Krishna as his maintainer. The fourth principle. If Krishna can protect me, he will also maintain me. Those who are interested in the fruits of activities generally expect protection from the demigods. But a devotee of Krishna does not look to any demigod for protection. He is fully convinced that Krishna will protect him from all unfavorable circumstances. This is called Krishna will protect means Goptrutve Varanam. Goptrutve Varanam, the acceptance of the Lord as one's guardian or master. Dara putra nija deha kutumba palane.
Dara putra nija deha kutumba palane.
Sarvada vyakulami chinu mahemane.
Sarvada vyakulami chinu mahemane.
Within my mind, I have always been anxious for maintenance of my wife and children, my own body and relatives. Kemono atibo atha yashat se pabo. Kemono atibo atha yashat se pabo. Kanya putra vivaha kemono sampadito. Kanya putra vivaha. How will I earn money? How will I acquire fame? How will I arrange the marriages of my sons and daughters? Edi atma samarpane chinta nahi aara. Edi atma samarpane chinta nahi aara. Tumi nirmahine prabhu sansar tumhara. Tumi Now, through the self-surrender, I have been relieved of all anxiety. Oh Lord, surely you will provide for the maintenance of your own household. Tumi to paile bimoy nija das jani. Tumi paile bimoy nija das jani. Tumhara sevaya prabhu boro sutanani. Tumhara prabhu boro sutanani. Recognizing me as your own servant, you will certainly maintain me. While rendering devotional service unto you, I feel the greatest happiness. Tomara ichha prabhu sab karya hoya. Tomara
इच्छा प्रभु सब कार्य होया
जीव बोले कोरे आमी से सत्य होया
जीव बोले कोरे आमी से सत्य होया
All events take place only by your will, O Lord. The deluded soul of this world declares, I am the doer, but this is purely folly. Jiva ki korite pare, tumi na korile.
जीव की कोरिले पारे तुमी ना कोरिले
Asha matra jiva ko tava ichha pale.
आशा मात्र जीव करे तब इच्छा पाले
What is a tiny soul actually able to do unless you act? The jiva can only desire to act, and unless you fulfill his desire by your own sweet will, he cannot do anything. Nischintya hoyami sevi gotmaya.
रामी सेवी को माया
Grihe bhalo mandalo nai moradaya.
ये भाव मंदा बोले नहीं मोरताया
Being free from all anxiety, I will humbly render service unto you. If any good or evil should occur while serving in your name, in your home, it will not be my responsibility. Bhakti vinodanja swatantra priya. Tumhara charana seve akinchana hoya. Bhakti Vinod thus completely renounces his own independence and engages in the exclusive service of your lotus feet with no other interest in life. The devotee should accept Krishna as his supreme maintainer and master. He should not think that he is being protected by a demigod. The devotee must be firmly convinced that within the three worlds he has no protector or maintainer other than Krishna. Even the demigods are receiving potency from the lotus feet of the Lord because they are surrendered souls to Krishna. So they may receive, like Ganesh, he receives the potency to make trouble-free material worlds or fulfilling the desires. It is said in Brahma Samhita, Yadapad Pallavegam Pranidhaya Kumbha Dvandve Pranama Savaya Sat Ganadiraja Vignan Vihantam Amarasya Jagatrayasya Govindamadi Purushantamam Bhajani. Ganesh is not independent. He doesn't have his own potency. He has been delegating the potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead because he holds the two lotus feet of the Lord on his two tumuli and receives the mercy to do some similar job for the material welfare, pride. Krishna does three. Long-term benefit, you go to Krishna. Short-term benefit, you may go to demigods. But then you may change other demigods for other benefit. Everybody is so limited that nobody can satisfy you fully. So, the devotee must be firmly convinced that within the three worlds there is no protector or maintainer other than Krishna. In the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 20th verse, Kamaistasya Ratakyana Prapadyantya Devata Tantam Niyam Asthaya Prakrutya Niyatya Svaya. Those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own nature. Because in the Vedic literature there are recommendations for worshipping different gods for different purposes. As for example, a diseased man is recommended to worship the sun. Those who are not devotees of the Lord think that certain purposes the demigods are better than the Supreme Lord. But they are not independent. They are delegates only. The demigods cannot award benediction to their devotee without the permission of the Supreme Lord. The living entity may forget that everything is the property of the Supreme Lord, but the demigods do not forget. They say they are not supreme. But those whose mind has been bewildered by unsatiable desires, they never think in that direction that I'm worshipping Ganesh, but what does he think? Should I worship him or Krishna? He said, better go to Krishna. Why are you wasting time with me? No, Ganesh, you are the first and foremost. Subhakarishu sarvada. So, worship of demigods and achievement desire result are due not to the demigods but to the Supreme Personality of Godhead by arrangement. But a pure devotee knows that the Supreme Lord Krishna is the master of all. In Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, 5th chapter, 142nd verse, it is said, Ekale Ishvara Krishna are Savi Bhratya. Only the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the master, and all others are servant. Therefore, a pure devotee never goes to the demigod for satisfaction of his material needs. It depends on the Supreme Lord, and pure devotee is satisfied with whatever he gives. In Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter, 22nd verse also says that Sataya Shuddhaya Yuktas Tasya Radhanam Ihate Labate Tatah Kaman Mayeva Vitam Hitan. Endowed with such a faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtains his desires. But in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. Aham sarvasya prabho matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samavita. This is in Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, 8th verse. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So these are the two factors, Rakshati, Vishwasa, or Goptrute Bhav. They will maintain me. Devatas are suppliers, they are not maintainers. They have been delegating different departments of material manifestation, and they are distributing all the amenities according to the performance of the yajna. So Krishna so designed the men and devatas both are supposed to interact and share the oblation. Yajna sishtasino santu munchante sarvakil vishaye gunjante agam papa yakachakya karnat. If this system is not followed, then whatever yajna, men and devatas are involved in performance, if it is not satisfied, and a person who simply not partaking the remnants of yajna and maintain himself, then they are called papi, Those who cook only for their own selves and not considering the role played by the devatas under the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So there is no peace between men and devatas and the demons and devatas. And Krishna takes side only of devatas, even in material affairs. So, in this way, we can understand. If you have to depend upon somebody, go to Krishna. Because surrendering is the process with confirmed faith that He will protect me and He will also nourish me. So these two factors are very vital. That makes totally 4 covered. Now we will have 2 remaining. We will see tomorrow. Anybody has any questions? Yes.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, thank you for the class. I don't really understand. Happiness and distress both come from Krishna. The Bhaktivinoda Thakur was singing, if good or evil happens, it's coming from Krishna. Are we only getting spiritual protection? The material distress increases our devotion. So materially we're suffering.
I forgot to put my hearing aids. That will be better.
Hare Krishna. Yes, I was saying that it seems that we only get spiritual protection. The material suffering serves to increase our devotion to Krishna, so we still have material unprotection. We're not protected materially, but that increases our spiritual devotion to Krishna.
Even if you have lukewarm faith, try to get protection from other agencies, even demigods, but you will not get full protection. So why to waste time? Cultivate an unflinching faith in Lord Shri Krishna. He only says, He is not hiding like other demigods are hiding. Only Vedas are suggesting that if you want to have a good wife, go to Lord Shiva and pray. If you want good health, pray to some God. But all this, antamantu param tesham tat bhavatyam alpavedasam. The benefits received for your protection as well as nourishment, fulfilling your desires, is also being nourished. Krishna is saying, yes, there are arrangements, go according to that. But in Kali Yuga, when most of us are Shudras, born Shudras, there is nobody born Brahman. Janmana jayate Shudra, karmana jayate dvija. This is the correction in this particular age of Kali. And if we are not performing those duties of Brahmins, who were in Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Dwapara Yuga, they were of Pakka. But in Kali Yuga, no qualification. So, today's Brahmins feel much more insecurity. They end up working something else which is not befitting to even Brahman by guna and karma. Prabhupada gives his personal life's example that when we were children in streets of Calcutta playing, there was a Brahmin family, but we saw that they were very poor and they were not engaged in worships or doing patan, patan, jajan, jajan, dana, they were not living according to the nature of Brahman. One of the boys could not find a good job, so he ended up pushing a trailer to carry goods on it. A trailer is a long, what you call it, and two-wheel carrier that he has to lift and push it on the wheel with so much load. So, whenever he was passing through our street with the full load, Panditji, pai lagu, we were, yelling at him. Then, oh Panditji, we bow down to you. And that Brahman said, Beta jite ho. He will give that. Now, what kind of qualifications are there? For the kids, it's become like a joke. But poor guy, he ends up doing Shudra work. Krishna created Chatur Varnyam Maya Srishtam Guna Karma Vibhasa. So according to that, if we are not being able to get it, then still guarantee of Krishna is available to him. But he has to work within, not work without, means outside. A devotee can do any damn job with such a mentality, But this artificial type of title giving, oh, we are born Brahma, but we end up working like a tela pusher. That's not fair. We have to act according to the Brahminical qualification. We have to invest all the qualities that Krishna says this are the natural karma for Brahma. Shama, Dhamma, Tapa, Shaucham, Kshanti, Raja, Mevacha, Jnana, Vijnana, Astikyam, Brahma Karma Swabhavaja. When this is not there, how come our literature is blamed that look, the literature is saying that Krishna created this, but it does not apply today. Yes, it will not apply today because there are no proper qualifications. Guna karma, where is the qualification? But nonetheless, caste brahmanas are there. At the same time, they are creating caste after caste. They are higher Biharis and lower Biharis. So they fight. So it's very dangerous situation for a devotee. Sarvapadir vinirnuttam tat paratvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesam sevanam tiruchyate. We have to get rid of all these false designations or temporary designation, for the bodily comfort designation, for bodily maintenance such designation. We have to get out from that mentality. We are not these bodies, and why do we have to make our life dependent upon this body only? We have been living from eternally, time immemorial. And because of the body, we ended up doing good or bad work, and we always remain in the cycle of reincarnation. Stop this business. It's only Krishna. Yadyatvana nivartante tatthamam paramam mama. Time, thank you. All right. Any other thing? questions? Let them with the mic up.
Mic, what was the mic? Can you?
Give it to her. No, you can put it.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
તો મને છે ને સૂર્યનારાયણના જળ ચડાવવાનું રોજ હું ચડાવું છું તો હવે ચડાવવું જોઈએ કે નહીં ચડાવવું જોઈએ?
હેલ્થ માટે તો તમે કહી ચડાવવું.
સૂર્યનારાયણ જળ કેમ ચડાવવું ખબર છે? પાણી ક્યાંથી? પાણી આવ્યું ક્યાંથી? ભાગવતનો પહેલો શ્લોક એમાં આવે છે જન્માદ્યસ્ય યથા અન્વયાદિતરશ્ચાસ્ય અધિક્યસ્વરા તેને બ્રહ્મહૃદાય આદિકવ્ય મુહ્યંતિ સૂરય તેજો વારી મૃદામ યથા વિનિમયો ત્રિસર્ગો મૃષા ધામના સ્વેન સદા નિરસ્તકોહકમ સત્યમ પરમ ધીમહિ. આપણે પરમ સત્યની પાછળ જવાનું છે. સૂર્ય ચંદ્ર બધા ગ્રહો પૃથ્વી પર અસર કરે પણ સૂર્યના તેજથી પછી પાણી આવે છે એ પાણીમાંથી પૃથ્વી આવે છે. એટલે ક્રમાનુસાર પણ સૂર્યનું તેજ આવ્યું ક્યાંથી? તો કે વાયુથી આવ્યું. વાયુ ક્યાંથી આવ્યું? તો કે આકાશમાંથી આવ્યું. એટલે આકાશની સૂક્ષ્મતા બહુ જોવાની હોય છે. અને આ પંચમહાભૂતની ઉત્પત્તિ બતાવે છે. એક જ તત્વમાંથી અનેક બધા છૂટા પડે આ રીતે એક પછી એક. એટલે પાણીમાંથી પૃથ્વી આવેલી છે. પૃથ્વીમાં પાણી છે એમ નહીં કહેવાય. પાણી છે એટલે પૃથ્વી છે. જ્યારે ચંદ્રમા પર ગયા અને પાણી મળ્યું નહીં, રેતી લઈને આવ્યા, oh, there is a sand, there must be water there. Prabhupada કહી દીધું ચોખ્ખું. So, if there is a sand, there is water. પણ તમને વોટર દેખાય ને ઉડી ગયું હોય. પણ પૃથ્વીની ઉત્પત્તિ પાણી ઓળવા પછી જ આવે. તમે એક પાણીનું ટીપું ગ્લાસ ઉપર મૂકો, જ્યારે ઉડી જાય જોજો ત્યાં એનો ડાઘો રહ્યો હોય. માઇક્રોસ્કોપમાં જોશો તો એમાં બધા ક્રિસ્ટલ્સ, બધા સોલ્યુબલ પદાર્થો પૃથ્વીના. એટલે પૃથ્વી એવી રીતે ઉત્પન્ન થયેલી છે. પરંતુ દેવતાઓ પણ આ ભગવાનની જે રચના છે તેને જોઈને મોહિત થઈ જાય છે. હવે તમે સૂર્યને પાણી ચડાવો, પાણી પેદાશ છે સૂર્યની. એટલે એને ઠંડો કરવાનો છે. એનો મિજાજ બહુ ભારે છે. પાણી તો ક્યાં ક્યાં વરાળ થઈને ઉડી જાય સૂર્યની. પણ સૂર્યના તાપને લીધે કોઈ પણ વસ્તુ બળે, અગ્નિ જ્યારે આવતો હોય તેમાં બે વસ્તુ પેદા થાય. એક કાર્બન ડાયોક્સાઇડ અને બીજી વોટર વેપર. તે વોટર વેપર આવી કરતી પાણીની સ્થિતિ છે. આપણે પ્રાર્થના બધી વ્યક્તિ તુજકો વાપસ પાણી કેમ ચડાવીએ કે ભાઈ પાણી તારામાંથી આવ્યું એટલે તને એનો સિવાય બીજું શું અર્પણ કરીશ? Right? So this is the way we have to think. Product is offered to the producer.
તમારે ગુજરાતીમાં શરણાગતિનો
હા,
તમારે શરણાગતિનો ક્લાસ ગુજરાતીમાં કરવા જોઈએ.
oh my God, કેમ થાય?
ક્વેશ્ચન ઓછા થાય.
ના તે બધાને અંગ્રેજી તો આવડે જ છે. અહીં ડોકો આવડે તો કે ચાલે.
તમે કીધું
શરણાગતિ શબ્દ જ ગુજરાતી છે. શરણાગતિ શબ્દ એ જ ગુજરાતી.
સંસ્કૃત.
ના શરણાગતિ છે ગુજરાતીમાં પણ શબ્દ છે.
બધામાં જ હોય.
હા,
પણ આવી રીતે સમજાવવાનું નહીં હોય ગુજરાતી.
ના.
ગુજરાતીમાં પણ શરણાગતિ શબ્દ બધાએ સાંભળ્યો છે.
Anyway. ઉત્પત્તિ કરનાર અંતે તો ભગવાન કૃષ્ણ છે. એટલે આપણે આજે પહેલો બ્રહ્મસૂત્રની વ્યાખ્યા કહીએ તે બરાબર સમજવાની છે. તમે 10 વખત વાંચો તો થોડું યાદ રહેશે. પ્રભુપાદનો લગભગ 18 પાનાનો પરપટ છે. એટલે બધી સાઈડ ખંગોળીને જાણવા મળશે.
Guru Maharaj, Prasanatma Prabhu has a question.
Prasanatma has some question.
So I unmuted him. Prasanatma Prabhu, please go ahead, ask it. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
How can I hear?
Thank you so much for the Sharanagati series.
Hold on, Prabhu.
Hold on, Prabhu, 1 minute. Okay, now go ahead.
No, we have to put the mic.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry.
Enjoying everything, especially took a lot of lessons today from how we should work towards our varnas, and ultimately it has to be how to serve the Lord as Guru.
Yes, it is better to serve exclusively Lord Shri Krishna. So you don't have to go through a very stepwise process to demigods and this and that. Even such bewilderment occurs to the demigods themselves. So why do we have to go through them?
Having reached the ultimate, we should remain with it.
Yeah, we have to approach Krishna directly through the agency of Guru Tattva. Got it?
Yeah, thank you, Gurudev.
Hari Bol.
The speakers want a bit out.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Anybody else? All right, Krishna bless all of you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada Ji.
Swami Maharaj.
Hmm?